Winter is coming.
Hello everyone, welcome to Hey Ho Let's Tour. It's me on my own this month because everybody else is busy doing other stuff. But we're another Vanother Collective video, and this month's topic is about winter vanning or winter caravanning, sort of things you got to do and be mindful of if you're going away over winter in your caravan, or even not going away in it, and what you need to do to store it away. You've probably seen millions of other videos, but these are just the things that we decide to do and the precautions that we take to make winter vanning as successful and as trouble-free as possible. So, as I say, this is the Vanother Collective. Make sure you check out all the other guys in the videos, in the collective's videos. I've put some logos up. We've got a few new ones. We've got a few that have left, but it's always a ever-changing bunch of people, but all like-minded, all trying to support each other's channels. So make sure you check out their videos. I'm sure they've got lots of interesting ideas and topics and things like that that you can help you with your winter caravanning. Now, when it comes to winter, there seems to be two camps as far as I can tell, especially with caravanners. There's those that like to caravan all the way through the year, right the way through winter. They don't mind going away in the bad weather. They just see it as like something that you do. And there's other people that prefer to go away when the weather's nicer, and put the caravan or whatever into storage, usually over winter, and not really go away, just wait for the nice weather to come. I mean, neither approach is right, neither approach is wrong. It depends on what you want to do. Some people like going away in the caravan all the time. Some people prefer to go away when the weather's nicer, so they're not trudging through muck. We sort of sit halfway between usually. We do like to get away occasionally during the winter, but we don't go away nearly as much during the winter time. We prefer the sun to be in the well, do we ever get sun in this country? We prefer the possibility of the sun to be out, and trudging wet and muck around can get a bit irritating, but there's no harm at all in going away during winter. Caravans are perfectly capable of doing it. It's all best to what suits you, so the advice depends on what you decide to do over winter time, really. So if you're one of those people that likes to go away during winter time, I think the main precautions you've got to do is just make sure you've got enough gas and things like that, because obviously it's going to be colder. You're going to be, it depends if you're off grid, you might be using gas to run your heating supply and for cooking and stuff, and it's probably a bit harder to get hold of. So just make sure you've got enough gas for those cold nights. Another big problem as well is that it can get obviously freezing over winter time while you're away. Generally, when you're using it, you shouldn't have any problems really. You shouldn't have anything freezing up, but there could be a cold snap during the night time. So you've got to make sure that your water tank usually sits outside, your aqua roll and the pipes to it. I've seen things that you do you can lag the pipe almost, and put a little snug thing around the aqua roll. Just keeps it warm, stops it frosting over, because I've heard stories about them freezing up overnight time. But I think as long as you're using the caravan, and you'll have the heating on, you'll be keeping the inside of the caravan and most of it running and nice and warm anyway while you're away. Obviously it's going to be a bit muddier and such like that, so you've just got to make sure you've got a place to store your muddy boots or your muddy wellies, things like that. Some people put their awning up in winter time. Some people think it's just too wet and mucky to put their awning up, but an awning is a godsend usually in winter time, just to store all your coats, wet coats, mucky boots, stuff like that. So adapting to winter caravan, it isn't really that different from normal summertime caravanning, fair weather caravanning. There's a plane flying over, I don't know if you can hear that. So if you're going to be not using your caravan over winter, you obviously have to take some different precautions, because it's just going to be sat there for a few months, and obviously exposed to the elements. Won't be getting heated up, won't be getting regular ins and outs and stuff like that. We put our caravan, we've got our caravan in storage, and during winter time, as I say, we don't go away nearly as much. There can be a period of a couple of months maybe where it doesn't really get moved, but we'll pop down and check on it every couple of every couple of weeks, make sure no trees have landed on it or anything daft like that. So you just got to make sure that the most important thing, I think, is, because the weather gets cold, is to drain down the water out of the system. But usually on the last holiday that we go away before we know we're going to be not using the caravan for a long time, you open the tap underneath the caravan, lets all the water out. We let all the drainage open. We empty all the taps. We go backwards and forwards, so there's nothing left in those pipes. Leave them all open in sort of half between hot and cold over winter. Because the worst thing is if you've got too much water left in your pipes, obviously it'll freeze over winter time. It expands, it'll crack your pipes. So you try and get as much water out as you can. You can get devices that you can attach, and it blows all the water out your system completely. I've heard mixed things about it. Some people say you don't need to do it. Some people swear by it. Some people say you attach it and it's amazing how much water comes out of your caravan. But then there's a lot of people that never do that. Just make sure they drain it down properly at the end of the season, and they never have any troubles the whole time they've been caravanning. It's really up to you. It's obviously a risk you take. You can, if you don't want to buy one of those devices, I've heard as well. I wouldn't like to try it myself. You can take the end off the shower nozzle and you can blow down it, and it'll push some air out, or some water out. It's up to you. But as the important thing is just to try and get as much air out of get as much water out of the caravan as possible, so it doesn't freeze. There'll always be air in the system, water in the system. You can't get rid of it all. Naturally, water forms anywhere, moisture. I mean, you can put, on a slightly different topic, you can put moisture traps, and you've probably seen us putting them down in other videos. Again, I've seen other videos and topics and people talking about it. Some people swear like you stick them in the corner. We noticed when we put ours in here, it absorbed loads of water, and they seem to take a load of moisture out of the air, which can cause damp and problems with caravans. And some people say, well, the moisture's in the air anyway, and all you're doing is pulling more moisture in after it sucked it up. It's up to you. I mean, there's no right and wrong way to do this thing. If you want to put those moisture traps in to try and pull some of the extra air out of the air in the caravan, do that. If you don't, it's up to you. Yeah. So anyway, make sure you drain all the water. That's one of the most important things, is draining all the water out your water system, because that leads to the most problems. Another good thing you need to do as well is relating to the battery and stuff like that. If you've got a caravan with a solar panel, that obviously keeps topping up your battery, but weather gets terrible, lots of clouds, you don't get much sun, so there is a chance that your battery will get more and more drained over the winter time if it's sat in a caravan. Our caravan, even when it's not being used with the electrics all off, there is still a drain on the battery, even when you're not using it. Something is pulling power. I think there's certain elements like the Truma system that permanently draws power even when it's turned off. But even when you're not using it and the master switch is off, it's still pulling power. So what we tend to do is take the battery out of the caravan, take it home, stick it in the garage, and we've got one of those battery chargers and battery conditioner things, attach it to that, and just over winter, just keep the battery nicely topped up, keep it in good condition, so it's in a good position, so it won't get drained. Because once your battery gets drained, once it falls below a certain point, it does damage to your battery, and you end up having to go out and buy another battery. So it's very important that you have good battery care when you're not using your caravan. Obviously, when you're not using your caravan as well, make sure to empty as much out of it as possible. You don't want to be attracting any mice and rats and stuff into you. I don't think a rat can get in, but you don't want to be attracting anything into your caravan to try and get at some foodstuffs. You need to take out a lot of the soft furnishings, because that can get damp and get a bit fusty over winter. You need to get the fridge door, just open it slightly. We stuff a tea towel in, and it's usually got some locks as well, and put a tea towel into the freezer compartment so air can circulate. Now you can open all the cupboards. Some people recommend that to increase airflow. It's all about making sure the air's flowing freely through the caravan, so there's no chances of damp forming anywhere. I've heard reports about that. Leaving them open, more airflow. Leaving them open can sort of damage the springs or the cupboards in some way. People do it, some people don't. It depends on who you listen to. The best thing to do is just try and keep as much airflow going as possible. So I hope you found some of those things useful. I'm sure you all do that anyway. You can do all sorts of other things to prepare your caravan for winter. I think as long as you're sensible and you don't leave buckets of water in it, or windows wide open, or windows closed or sealed, or anything daft like that, you should be all right with caravanning. They are built for all seasons, and they're built to be used all seasons, but they're also built to be left unused over winter or unused over summer. So you've just got to make sure that you're taking the right precautions over winter time, and just being sensible about it, as I say. So just a short video about what to do when you're winter vanning. What do you do? Do you go away all through the whole of the year? Do you go away in winter? Do you prefer going away in summer? When it comes to winter time, do you say, oh, it's just too cold, it's just too wet, I can't be bothered, it's just too muddy? Do you just like put it into storage or leave it on your drive for a few months and just have a break from caravanning for a few months and wait till the weather gets nicer? It's and say there's no right or wrong answer. If you got any other tips, please leave them in the comments below. I said you can probably watch 100 other videos and they'll all recommend various different things. Some will go to the extreme of doing all sorts to your caravan while you're away. But I think, as I say, it's just down to being sensible. Yeah. Oh yeah, and make sure, because this is part of the Vanother Collective, there's a bunch of other videos going out about the same time. Make sure you check all those out. Make sure you check out all those other channels. I'm sure they've got lots of other interesting ideas on looking after your caravan and what you need to do when you're going away, or even putting storage over winter. But not only caravans, camper vans, motorhomes, all sorts of stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a quick one. Back to normal videos soon. Hope everybody has a nice winter. Winter is coming. I've heard that rumour. And make sure to like, subscribe, and check out all the other videos and all our other videos. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.